So I've seen lots of new players recently, and they've all asked these type of questions. What should I play? Where should I go? Are the expansions worth it? Why do random people just say praise Joko? Is this an inside joke? I absolutely realize that everyone's playthrough of Guild Wars 2 is going to be different, and their approach is going to be different, and their feelings towards the game are going to be different. But I've had this thought that if I were a new player again, what would I do differently? This is where I would get started. Please note that this does have some mild gameplay spoilers, so just be prepared. But regardless, here we go. The first major thing that I would do is not to fret spending so much time picking my class. This is a common question I get asked a lot in the comments on stream and elsewhere. Which class should I pick? The truth is, a lot of the classes can cover different roles and playstyles with the customizations of weapons, trait lines, skills, you name it. But I wasted so much time trying to pick either a warrior or a ranger. I ended up getting to the mid-40s level before deciding to go and try another class altogether. This back and forth soured me, in my opinion, on my first experience because it was a lot of repeating the same process over and over just to see if I liked it or not. Honestly, I wish I would have gone just to the PvP lobby and tested out the classes to see how they play and then go from there. I think that's partially why I played Guild Wars 2 off and on for so long, especially not committing to a single class to play. And it's 110% the thing that I would do first if this was my initial playthrough of the game. Just frickin' commit to something and go with it. Leveling alts really isn't that bad. The second thing that I would do is take my damn time in Quarteria. Now, this is a twofold concern, mainly because of my focus on my initial playthrough was to bust ass to get to endgame and get all the cool features. But what I missed out on was how great Quarteria was. To be fair, the most part of Tyria was pretty easy. Aside from the occasional elite or champion mob, you can basically steamroll everything. This wasn't the point, though. The great thing about Quarteria is the exploration of everything out there and finding mobs, active events, all these great features that you may have missed out on if you were just trying to rush through it. Also, I don't know about you, but stumbling across a world boss event or even finding a jumping puzzle randomly is just, that's so damn cool. I will say that my first major jumping puzzle I found was the not so secret jumping puzzle, which is an absolute pain in the ass. I really hate to be that guy, but I have strong negative feelings towards this one. I lost 3 hours of my life there, and it was brutal. Once I did it, I never went back. I'm not doing it. Not putting myself through that anymore. But the main point was enjoying everything all around instead of just trying to get to endgame of Guild Wars 2, whereas a good portion of the Quarteria in the leveling is the game. You only experience it the first time once. Also, the other side of that is that it helps you down the line when you consider going for world completion. The more of the core map that you do during the leveling process, it makes it simpler when you have to get the gift of completion, which requires you to complete basically everything in Quarteria. In this gift of completion is a legendary component needed to craft legendary weapons. Paired with that, doing the hero points will assist you once you're max level when you are looking to unlock those sweet elite specializations. In my base leveling, I was able to get 40 points at the time, and when I hit 80 casually, I was able to at least unlock the start of an elite specialization. If I could go back, I would take my time. I would take so much time just enjoying the scenery. If you could start from the beginning again, what would you do differently? Tell me down below. Alright, so I took my time to get to level 80, and now I'm not sure what I want to do. I avoided PvP like the plague.
What about that shadowy place?
World v World wasn't even on my radar, and raids and strikes were completely out of the question. I thought I was only locked in to completing the story before I did anything else, and I think that is attributed to my WoW time where you had to at least do the main portion of the story to get most of the endgame content. And honestly, there was one thing that I really think that I would have enjoyed in my early playtime, and that is the Fractals of the Mist. Fractals being small instance-style dungeons where you can go in, complete a few dailies, and get tons of rewards. The lower Fractals are non-intensive and can be completed with literally whatever gear you have on. But when you get into the higher tiers and you have to tangle with Agony, a scaling damage over time effect that grows in intensity, the higher the levels you go, it becomes more of a problem. You counter this by having Agony resistance, but that whole layout is for for another time. Now, early on in my young account, getting some gold as well as some ascended gear makes the world of difference as you progress onto other endgame pieces of content, and especially the latter levels of the daily fractals, which usually net huge chunks of gold for only mild effort. I still haven't stepped into fractals that way, and I probably should do that sometime soon. But if I had to start over, I would definitely focus on progressing fractals of the mist for my character so that I can actually have pretty reliable source of gear and gold. Okay, so this is probably no surprise, but if I were a new player again, I would definitely make a bigger effort to joining a guild and being a part of a community earlier.
You're my friend now.
The game is Guild Wars 2. Guilds are in the name. The reason being is that the looking for group tab is kind of lacking, to be fair, and only occasionally does it actually have anything going on in it. With a guild, however, you actually have a great setup to have players to join you with all the great content that's out there. Those fractals I was just talking about, boom, easy group to work and progress with. Want to dip your toes into World v World? Now you have some roaming buddies. Need to help out with a challenging open world mob? Instant party. I mean, the point here really is that I didn't make a huge effort to join a guild until much later in the game, and I think that would have made Guild Wars 2 a bigger staple in my gaming time if I had friends and a community that I made an effort to play with. If you are a Guild Wars 2 enjoyer, make sure to like and subscribe for more caffeinated content. Because of my mental barrier that I have to complete the story to do anything else, I didn't work on my account hardly at all. And this is something I really wish that I would have done earlier in my playtime of Guild Wars 2. The game has a fantastic horizontal progression, and that is the reason that why so many players enjoy it. One of the big things is that basically everything you earn on one character is transferable to other characters on your account. This means mounts, achievements, legendaries, all that. I struggled on my Deadeye for the longest time because I didn't just put forth the effort to finish unlocking the elite specialization completely. I held off from progressing my legendary because I didn't have a flying mount. I barred my character's progression because I thought I had a list of things that I should do and didn't focus on the essential unlocks for my account, in my opinion. Which of course I'm hinting at is mounts, masteries, and elite specializations. At least having the mounts, making traversing the open world significantly easier, earning the mastery points to have ease of use and improving said mounts as well as getting some gliding, and then of course unlocking my character's full potential with respective elite specializations, and you get a bit of gear with that as well, would have made the world of difference in my initial playtime. There were many hours that I was just trying to fight open world bosses with 10% of the Firebrand Elite specialization unlocked and not knowing why I was getting smacked. I tried to complete Living World Season 4 on the same half-baked Firebrand without a Springer. I mean, I basically would have made a bigger effort to get those things done, which would help me in the long run. Speaking of account unlock, this is something that I believe would have been incredibly difficult and not even worth my time, but grinding for those legendary items in this game. Only recently have I truly been grinding for legendary gear, and the reason behind it was simple. I thought it was an impossible task for someone like me. Short on game time, unknowledgeable of the process, and honestly overthinking it. Recently on my stream, I've been working on Vision, the legendary accessory from Living World Season 4, and I have passively been putting in efforts to complete it. I've actually come to the realization I was missing out. Legendaries have the benefit of being on their own unique item shelf in your inventory, stats are changeable at will, and then of course any character that can use that particular item will have access to it. They have the same stats as Ascended Gear, which are only slightly better than exotic gear. Seriously, the convenience is a massive boon comparatively. I held back for the longest time because I thought it was going to be such a pain in the neck to get it done that I avoided it completely. And that is one thing that I would definitely jump into sooner if I were starting over in Guild Wars 2. Okay, I have to speak on this is because this is the biggest thing that I would do differently as a new player in Guild Wars 2, and that is, of course, appreciate the game for what it is.
I say, hold up.
I know that sounds like a gimmick, but listen to why I think this way. Guild Wars 2, when I first started playing it, I got the game as a Heart of Thorns pre-purchase, and I played and enjoyed most of the gameplay for a while, but I just thought of this as a WoW clone.
Wait a minute.
Easy, I was the biggest WoW nerd for a long time, so cut me some slack. And because I didn't have to pay a monthly sub for Guild Wars 2, I didn't really think that there was any reason for me to keep playing because, I'm not paying for it. It'll be there when I get there. I treated it like it was any of the other games in my Steam library.
It's been 84 years.
I'll get to it eventually. In the meantime, I am paying for a WoW subscription, so why the hell am I not playing WoW? Now, times have changed. I have 3 wonderful kids, a full-time career, and now working on becoming a full-time content creator. I can't believe it took me so long to appreciate how this game respects your time and your efforts. Each time I log in, it feels like I'm progressing towards something that is beneficial for my account. Whether it's a legendary, whether it's a mastery unlock, or perhaps taking down an endgame boss or endgame content. I never feel like my time is wasted. The biggest contrast to most MMOs is that there is no treadmill here. You earn the things, move the needle when you want to, but if you need to take off for a month, you're good to go. Log back in and pick right back up where you left off. I didn't appreciate what the game was great at. Instead, I constantly compared it to what it wasn't. I enjoy the game, but I didn't give it that solid dedication it deserved. And that is the biggest thing that I would do differently as a new player enjoying this fantastic game. If you are a new player or looking to get started in Guild Wars 2, check out this updated beginner's guide for Guild Wars 2 in 2023. If you have any new player questions, I stream over on YouTube, Monday nights, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Hope to see you there. Stay caffeinated, folks.